25 years in education, taught over 25,000 different children, 8 different schools, and taught in 4 different countries. I'd also achieved the highest qualification in my profession, the National Professional Qualification for Health. But I was still hungry. I've always felt there is more to education than just getting children through exam factories. Everyone has a gift, an offer, and your offer is shaped by your story. If you use your gift to discover the gift in others and remove the barriers to their success, you will be living a life that is truly significant. My name is Denise Hilleman. I am the founder of the LEAD curriculum, a unique and innovative curriculum with the education sector and the private sector working in partnership to bridge the gap between education and the business of life.
We were very keen to keep hold of her in that role as a science teacher. So myself and the then principal worked very hard to make sure that we went through all the hoops we had to go through to make sure that she was able to work with us full time. And when she left in the year 2000, she was joint acting head of science.
Did I ever imagine attending Oxford? Not in my wildest dreams. My aspirations were limited to school. As soon as I got to the end of my GCSEs, that would be my perfect opportunity to get out in the real world, to earn some pocket money and to help out around the house. The LEAD curriculum is a really exciting time to be involved because my teacher, specifically Miss Hilleman, who's behind the scenes running this, she did so much for me. Miss Hilleman felt so strongly that class wasn't necessarily stretching and challenging me. Because she had seen something in me, she took that to a higher level, and then I ended up being the first student from the school ever to go to Oxford. So she identified something and she gave me something to believe in.
Denise was made deputy head of the senior years, and we worked together very closely for 2 years with taking our cohort through up to sixth form level. Working with business is very important, I think, for education and vice versa. Businesses can provide meaningful work experience placements with some structure, and that give the students a real overview of what happens in the chosen career that they're interested in finding out about.
One of my main bugbears has been the difference between what students are expected to do in school, either in their A-level academic stuff or their vocational BTEC work, and what happens in the real world. From a student's perspective, when you first feel the nerves and second you feel the thrill of having to present either your argument or a solution to a problem, it adds something that they don't get in the normal working day at school. The pressure of having to present to somebody who's not your teacher, someone who perhaps comes with specialist experience in a field, is something which we can't replicate at school.
The work that we've done with Burntwood for this module for the LEAD curriculum has been a real pleasure for me to be involved in personally. The way that it's supported what the National Space Academy do is it has provided us a chance to work with a group of students that we maybe wouldn't have worked with otherwise. Most of the time the National Space Academy's programmes are about engaging students in their science lessons with science. But actually, this module engages the students outside of their science lessons with science and engineering. Perhaps skills other than just the science and engineering skills. The leadership skills, the planning, presentation skills. The growth in the sector is all in private industry. So we need business leaders as well as science leaders in the space sector. Working on this project has given me the chance to speak to some youngsters who are still really interested in science and engineering, but also want to know more about the wider context. And also, I have to admit, some of the students were not so interested in science and engineering, but they still found the context interesting, and it brought in some of their other skills. I definitely think that getting young people to work on real problems that are to do with the space industry is a great way to overcome the challenge of bringing in new talent to the industry and developing skills for young people to go into the industry. With this kind of interaction with young people, we get to have those conversations and perhaps get them to think more about the technology that they're using on a day-to-day basis.
The British Chamber of Commerce recently undertook a survey of 3,000 companies whereby the findings suggested that 88% of the companies feel that the students who are leaving school are not ready for the workplace. What I'm seeing here is an untapped market, if you like, of students who are willing to engage, really willing to cooperate, who have fantastic ideas, but because of the gate, and the gate, as I see it, is not having the skills right now in terms of communications and being able to take that forward, the students are learning something that's tangible and real, that they can take away, they can feed into their future life, and also make them much more ready for the world of work.
Excellent communication skills, leadership development, and I empower young people to realize that they can be the change that they want to see in the world, then I feel that personal sense of fulfillment and that I've empowered somebody to become a positive force for change in the world. It's very fulfilling to see that happen, and it's this ripple effect of positive change.
I would really recommend it for students, and because I think personally we didn't know what to say at the beginning.
That's very important, just learning along the way and still having that confidence.
I think when we walk away today, we will be proud of what we've achieved.
We know we have an idea of what to say if we do see someone that we want a job from.